This episode of The Horror Show is brought to you by Tracy Hansen, Alex Pounders, Ron Swarthot, and Seth. A kiss. Guys, thank you so much. I probably read some names twice. That's because I can't remember where we left off. But hey, anyway, thanks everyone anyway. All of our sponsors over at patreon.com/IHateHorror. Really appreciate it. Now, listen up. We've got updates. I also think this was the last... We got updates on our soccer team. Obviously, that's what I meant. So, here we go. I think this was our last game of the season, maybe? Yes, it was. We got a little notice. Thank you, sponsors, for supporting the Splendora Spring 2017 soccer. And the horror show is listed there, along with Sonic Drive-In, tree removal, things of that nature. The kids got trophies. I'm looking at the pictures now. Man, these are dope. And if you did sponsor the team, again, I think I mentioned this before, we're going to get a team photo, and I'll send that all to you guys. I'll make like a nice copy of it and send it all to you. Not a copy, like an actual print of it. So here's the update. Today was the last game. Well, this would be on the weekend. And the Little Manglers going out with a big W. Big W. The whole team was all in on this one. They rallied together. I'm trying to think of like NFL films, things like the sweat of war. Braden was just house of fire this game, runs in. It's like, who's defending me? I have no idea, because I'm just going to kick these 2 goals right in. And we won 5-3. Hustle was insane. Gaitlin and Mason, they were just passing all over the place. We jumped way up early on in the game. Eugene, the goalie, Mean Gene, the goalie, letting in only 3 goals to give us the solid victory there. And he even took a block with his leg, guys. Can you believe that? It was coming right at him. Also, this is the bigger news. This is like the best news of the year. Zack Attack. You know how you get a name like that? You start a fight in Little League Soccer. That's right. Zack Attack. Out there. Oh, God, it's so hard not to swear. Zack Attack. Just hustling. Moving the furniture around. Got into a little heat with some of the other team. Ethan also in this game was just keeping it moving up and down the field, like running nonstop, giving it his all. And he even got a goal in after halftime. They loved every minute, all the kids. They were super pumped. And got the trophies, and everyone got to say goodbye to each other in a classic fashion. So, Little Manglers, bon voyage. Maybe next year we can do it again. We'll see. But we appreciate everyone that sponsored the soccer team. It was a cool thing to do. It was really a cool thing to do. So we really appreciate it. I'm sure they do too. So yeah, that's it, guys. So with that said, let's get into something not fun. S.I.C.K. Serial Insane Clown Killers. It's available on YouTube. Sorry, I keep almost burping. It's probably because I'm about to be sick thinking about S.I.C.K. This was probably one of the worst movies we ever talked about. So, of course, that means you should probably check it out, because it's, it's out there. Just check it out. It's literally impossible to pay for it. Like, you can't even find a fucking copy to pay for. I'm getting frustrated. All right, guys, enjoy this episode.
Perfect entertainment when I take her on a date. You can shove
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Horror Show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
When did I start making the "and" so high-pitched?
Always.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good to know. Because I was just like, man, I sound like an asshole. I got to stop doing that. I really thought in my head, I was like, in the old days, I said, and I swear. Oh, whatever. Hey, we're here. Murder party's not.
We are.
Murder party's over. And after the party
Comes the after party.
comes the after party. And after the
Hotel lobby?
No, not in this case. The after party in this case is a movie by the name of S.I.C.K, Serial Insane Clown Killers. First of all,
What a terrible name.
CHUD was an acronym, but CHUD was the name of the movie. The name of the movie was never Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. The name of S.I.C.K, I believe, is
Serial
Insane Clown Killers, but they just threw "sick" in front of it to make sure you couldn't find it. Which, thanks, but we found it. Thanks to our buddy
Who suggested this?
John Layton. Public enemy number one. No, John, this movie
Sucks.
but he knows that. He wasn't like, you gotta check out this gem.
Oh, I know.
Because he recommended The Thing. His choices were I wish I had his email. His choices were like, well, if you want to do something good, talk about The Thing. If you want something totally off the wall, check out this movie. This movie was something.
It wasn't. It wasn't anything.
We made Paul watch it, who I think we're going to try and call at the end of this episode.
At a wedding.
I told him, didn't you see my text?
I know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess we have to tell the audience that. That would have been funny. Good thing I stomped all over that. Sorry. He's at a wedding. Yeah, he's at a wedding. We're going to call him at a wedding to discuss S.I.C.K, which he watched.
Yep.
And now,
so did our buddy Mike, but he's watching the Toxic Avenger in a theater right now.
Yeah, everyone's doing better stuff than us, who's just sitting around talking about S.I.C.K. S.I.C.K was made in 2003. Mm-hmm. The quality of this is so fucking atrocious. It's unbelievable. But we can go, I guess we can hit that as the movie goes on.
Let's do it now.
Because there's some scenes in this.
So we're doing the Letterboxd challenge.
Yeah.
And we just did
Shot
on Video Week.
Yep.
So V Week. I watched a movie called Black Devil Doll from Hell. It is no different in quality-wise than this. And this is clearly a bigger budget and with better technology.
Yeah, no, it was. If this wasn't shot on video, I'd be shocked. But
no, was it?
It wasn't shot on video.
You think it was shot? What year did this come out?
2003.
You think they shot it on a VHS?
I don't think it's widescreen, is it? I can't remember.
I guess maybe.
I'm trying to think. I think. So, okay, guys, this is on YouTube. It's literally the only place you can find it. Mm-hmm. It is not streaming anywhere. You cannot rent it. You can buy it on Amazon, but don't be an asshole. Actually, I think this was actually even released on VHS in 2003. But you can watch it on YouTube. I'm about to pull it up right now. So it was released on DVD. Oh yeah, it's square.
So it was.
I would venture to guess that they used maybe a high-end VHS camera.
Okay.
Because the quality is dog shit.
So if you're about to watch this on YouTube,
watch it in the smallest window possible.
When you start it, you're going to say to yourself, "This can't be the version they watched. I can't see anything. It's very fuzzy." That's it.
That's it. First of all, the first scene in the movie is done in like this weird like effect that literally makes it unwatchable. You cannot see a single thing.
And they use it multiple times to let you know that it's a flashback.
Yeah.
And it's just. I was gonna say it ruins the movie, but let's not be ridiculous. But it like Sean said, it's unwatchable.
And the resolution is so bad, your best bet is watching it on your smallest iPhone possible to get the best clarity. Because I tried streaming it to my TV and I almost canceled the show. Like, not just the episode, like the show was over. I was just so infuriated. But check it out. Directed by Bob Willems, who's directed over
What's Dave
25
Chappelle's?
films.
No, he hasn't.
He has.
Well, read me some of these titles.
And produced 32 credits. He's got 32 credits to his names.
I'm sure they're great.
Well, you know, you got Beer and Seed. What? Bale Chicks.
Are these adult movies?
I would venture to guess. The Costume Shop, 200 Degrees. But my favorite is his earlier work, in which he produced...
Cyrano de Bergerac?
Dude. He produced and directed work safety videos.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Amputation injuries. Oh, that's a real one. Lab safety, 2 potential hazards. Lab safety 1, chemical hazards. The Americans with Disabilities Act working together. Like, these are like shit you watch on your first day of work.
Right.
Portable generators. Dress safe. Stop the bleeding. Space heaters.
So this guy has
injuries.
Like a resume.
Yeah. But I mean...
So why is this so bad?
Because those are bad. He makes VHS movies.
Those are movies?
Have you ever seen those? No, there's like shorts that you play at a workplace.
Yeah, right.
It's not work. We could do that and sell them probably.
I don't think we could. Sell them?
Have you seen those videos? Anyway, let's not beat this guy to death.
I'm okay with that.
Anyway, all right. So this is on YouTube. Watch it. It's the worst anything we've ever watched.
You agree with that?
Okay.
I do.
Okay, so Joe thinks this is hands down the worst, right?
Well, I think it's worse than Dead Body Man.
Okay.
So yes.
Have we talked about Dead Body Man on the show in depth?
I don't know.
Dead Body Man is terrible. Mm-hmm. It is definitely shot on video. You can't hear anything in it. There's no microphones. They just use the camera microphone.
Funny. They gave me a good old chuckle twice now.
Why?
Because it's funny.
Oh.
There's a bunch of people sitting in a room and you can't hear them.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't laugh once during this movie.
During
S.I.C.K.
S.I.C.K?
Yeah. Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about...
Dead Body Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying that I laughed at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You laughed at Dead Body Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not laugh at S.I.C.K.
No.
So right there, I had a better time.
But you could hear S.I.C.K.
Who cares?
That might be worse, actually.
It's way worse.
So the other problem is S.I.C.K. was an hour 36.
Obscenely long.
An hour 36, and I know we've said this before. I know I've made the joke. It felt no shorter than 3 days. But dude, I promise you, I started this at 11 o'clock, and it did not end till like 2 a.m. somehow. And I felt like I was in a vortex. Like, I checked it, and it was 25 minutes in, and I almost blew my brains out.
Yeah. I checked repeatedly because there were scenes of nothing.
Nothing.
And that's not a joke. There's scenes where you could not see anything.
No.
And we've said before, like 70s dark. No, this is no dark other than there's no light. And
Yeah.
it did nothing to like illuminate anything.
No, I mean,
Darkness. My wife came in and said, "What's wrong with the TV?" And I had to be like, "No, this is just the piece of shit movie I'm watching. There's no noise or visuals."
there are multiple scenes with zero dialogue or talking. Just
And they
silence
last forever.
and it's just shit happens.
There's a scene of some guy chopping wood, except you don't even get the pleasure of watching him chop the wood. You just see the wood being chopped, like the end stroke of it. And it goes on for like 4 straight minutes. It is unbelievable.
Oh my god. So let's hit this up. This is so long.
So do you agree that it's worse than Dead Body Man?
I don't know. Yes.
So me and Paul are having a heated debate, and you took Paul's side in the text.
Because I honestly, it makes me laugh. This movie makes me laugh. And I was really excited to talk about it on the show because it's so bizarre, dude. So the writer, the guy that wrote this film, is also the lead actor, Brandon, in it. And he wrote him into back-to-back sex scenes.
Yeah,
no, like back-to-back.
Right.
Like there's a scene where he's having sex with a woman, and then he goes downstairs. He goes downstairs, and another woman's like, "Let's fuck," and all the women talk to him in this like, "You're the hottest dude I've ever met," and he's not. He's not. He looks like a chubby Brendan Fraser.
There's a guy on Doug Loves Movies recently who was a rather large man. He was talking about how he wrote himself into a movie where he just 69 girls. It was like his first movie.
Yeah, I'm spitting water everywhere. Oh my God, I just spit water everywhere. That is so funny to do. Especially when you hand it to somebody. To be like, hey, you want to take a look at this?
Hey, you can be my movie. Oh, yeah, it stars me. And you have to do this disgusting act.
Or even worse, like giving it to a producer or a director and being like, I think you'll like it.
Oh, he directed and produced.
I wrote this for me. Oh my God, that's so funny. So this guy wrote himself into back-to-back sex scenes. He also wrote dialogue where the women are like, I know all about you and like your sexual escapades. And he's like, oh, geez.
So that concept is funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about the sex scenes.
No.
They sucked.
No, I mean,
they weren't even good sex scenes.
But like Goblin 2.
What?
Goblin 2? Goblin?
Goblin 2?
Troll 2, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Goblin.
How dare you? Nilbog 2?
Troll 2.
Right.
Unintentionally funny.
Right. I laughed during it.
But you don't think if you sat with me and Paul and watched this, it would have...
Dude, about what? About what? I would laugh if you were like, hey, here comes when this guy wrote him into 2 sex scenes, because you're saying that and the concept of that is funny. If I was just watching the movie, I would not laugh. Troll 2, I laugh because the kid sucks at acting. The things look like shit, and it's funny.
But what about the scene where the girl talks about sucking toes?
What's funny about that? She is, I'm like stuttering. This movie works me out. She is so, sure. I don't even know where to start with this. She's in a car and she's like describing the biggest psychopath she's ever met. And it's because they're like getting intimate.
Should we just get into the...
And he was like, I want to suck on your toes. And she's like, can you believe that? Like, I don't get it either. I mean, that's weird. Sure. But it's not that bad. And she talks about it for 45 fucking minutes. Like, just tell him no. That would have been
They
the end
all
of it.
talk about it for 45 minutes. It's like a round table where they're like, sucking toes?
It's honestly so common, dude.
All right. So let's start this. There's a beginning scene where a woman is murdered and then dressed up like a clown. It plays no part in the rest of the movie.
I mean, it was like the beginning of Halloween, like the point of view of like a young Michael Myers, you know? And the girl gets killed from like a stab point of view, except you don't see the stab, you just hear, but what?
Yeah.
That doesn't come back though.
No.
But that's like his origin.
Yeah.
Who's though? I'm
Uncle,
literally asking
Uncle Billy's, who we'll learn about later.
Because he's the clown.
No, I mean, we don't know. I mean, this is
Who's
just
the
a
clown?
dream. Uncle Billy.
Yeah, but why?
No reason.
How's this movie end? Just tell me right now.
The movie ends when Brandon reveals that him and Uncle Billy, this was all plot.
That's
they were going to kill them all.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was getting off put for a second. Because why is this happening?
The beginning?
No, any of it. Like, why is Uncle Billy, why do they want to do that? Wait.
They eat the meat.
Wait.
They eat people.
Yep. Okay. Just because?
Yeah.
But they're normal people.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're normal.
All right.
Nothing is clear about this film. Okay. So we open up, woman murdered. It won't come back. They'll play it later. They'll play a flashback to this as if it means
As
anything.
if it's the girl flashing back to being murdered.
It's so weird. We cut to this nerd, Brandon, planning a party, and his planning, it just says party weekend, and then it has a list of 4 names underneath it. It's the worst. The music is so bad. They do a little Office Space, clearly a ripoff of Office Space in the when he's like leaving for the day, and his boss is like, I'm gonna have to ask you to stay, but instead of like adding anything creative, he says things like old chum, sport. It's like, oh, no can do, old chum. Fuck talks like that.
He's not being funny or ironic.
It's not funny or ironic. No, you're right. You're right. They wrote that thinking that's how bosses talk. Like, like Office Space was like, oh, it's so funny. Like, that's how management talks. Like, yeah, no, not going to be able to do that.
Right.
That's how they talk. This is not
old chum.
Old chum.
Unless you're a newsie, your boss doesn't talk like that.
Here's your bag of newspapers for the day. Go sell them, kid. Yeah, his boss says he has to come in on the weekend. Random flashbacks, like the boss is like, I'm busy this weekend. And then it just cuts to like a flashback of the boss like putting on lipstick in the mirror.
Why?
But the guy puts his foot down. They start swearing at each other. Like, oh, you can't talk to me that way. Whatever. We should have played that clip. This movie seemed like a Tim and Eric. At first, I was like, are we all in on the joke? Do you know what I mean?
I thought it would go like a Greasy Strangler route, just be like so
ridiculous. But it wasn't.
No.
This was taken very seriously.
Yes.
Very, very seriously. And I learned that very fast. Like at this point, I'm like sending Joe a text that's like, this might be the greatest bad movie.
He literally sent me that.
The best bad movie ever made.
That's what he sent me. And the next day I was like, at which point in this movie?
It was this point.
But why?
Because, dude, he's calling him old sport and chum, and I'm just laughing. And I'm like, oh, they must be in on their own joke. Like that's in my head.
Okay.
Because it was so fucking stupid. And it wasn't until later when I was like, oh no. Oh no. This man thinks what he's written is good.
Yeah, because when you texted me that, I was like, all right, I could see it being so bad it's a good movie. And then about 25 minutes in, I checked and I was only 25 minutes in.
Dude, I did the same thing.
And then that's when I was like, Sean, at which point did you feel this was going to be so bad?
That's when I hit pause to check time, was the 25-minute mark. That's so funny. And I was like, no. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Not only am I only 25 minutes in, I have an hour and 20 minutes left.
So Brandon's leaving all in a tizzy. He meets this woman, Tracy. And he's coming on to her like a fucking psychopath. So unrelatable. Like, so like, hey, like he doesn't say this, but it, like to me, might as well. If he was like, hey, would you like to sit on my dick? Like kind of thing. And she's like, I don't really know you. And he's like, well, come on. And she's like, okay. Like that was essentially the conversation. Like it was so aggressive and gross. And she's like, I have a boyfriend. He's like, no, you don't. She's like, well, I guess you're right.
Folds so fast.
And then they cut to a flashback of her boyfriend massaging another man.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
She walks in on
that
her
was what happened.
boyfriend massaging another.
That can't be
like,
what
why
I
would
just
they
saw.
include that?
Yeah. What the fuck?
It was so weird.
I'm not saying the what the fuck to that happened. Like I'm just saying that to why it was spliced in there.
And then when it cuts back, Brandon puts on his glasses like the guy from CSI, like the meme. Dude,
if
that
they
was
played the song.
Dude, it
would have been
perfect.
It would have been
dude,
good.
It was perfect, dude. Like, but again, it's not ironic. It's not ironic or anything. Like, he flips his glasses up and puts them on and is like, so what do you say? It was unbelievable. I think this was when I was like, oh no, this is happening. Because it was insane. It was insane. And then she's like, well, what are you going to do at this party? And he's like, oh, we're going to, call out the monsters and feed you guys to them. Like trying to be joking. She's like, is there going to be any gin at this monster orgy? Which, first of all, who the fuck orders gin?
Is there going to be any gin?
And he goes, all the gin you can drink. Weird claim. We've got tons of gin, the hottest new drink in 2003. Although I was drinking gin a lot in 2005.
2000, me too. That's all I drank.
2004 and 2005. I drank so much gin.
Same.
I drank so much gin that I brought a giant thermos of it to a bowling alley and spilled it everywhere.
That's literally all I drank in those years.
Yeah, why?
I'd mix it with Fresca.
People are probably like, "What is the matter with you?" Yeah, I didn't mind it with cranberry juice either. Like, I don't know, but it was the best. I spilled it all over the fucking place at this bowling alley. I don't know if I've told this story so everyone could deal with it, but and the woman like came up because we're clearly underage and drunk. I had a mustache drawn on my face, like curly mustache. I drew with a permanent marker on my face, and I was wearing a white sports coat over a t-shirt, and I spilled it everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna come over and help me clean. And sure enough, they did. And they're like, you guys drinking? Dude, gin might be the stinkiest alcohol, right? I mean, besides whiskey, which stinks, but like gin it's pine tree. It smells like a fucking pine tree. Like, and I'm loaded, and she's like, are you guys drinking? I'm like, no. She's like, oh, all right. And she helped me clean up the gin. Spilled everywhere. A white liquid that smells like pine, a clear liquid that smells like pine trees. Oh my God, whatever. But they're really happy about this. We should probably get moving on this movie because it is an hour and 40 minutes long.
Or we could just end the episode. Call it a night.
We see the guys. This was the other. I don't know. They're all packing for this trip. Like they're going on the longest trip ever. And then they end up at Brandon's house.
Is that where they are?
Yeah, because they're like, this is your family's house. Right? Yeah.
You are correct.
They like pack their bags and like go to a bar, like as if they're like road tripping. And then they're like, oh wait, we're here. It's like down the fucking road. It was so weird. So is there anything good between Tracy and them in the meantime? Let me just see.
No.
The music is relentless and annoying.
Did we talk about when they were at the bar, how he's talking to a girl, and then she's like, that's my seat. And she's like, fuck you. And then it just goes back and forth like that.
No, we didn't talk about anything. We also didn't talk about while they're driving, no one's talking. And it's just shots of animals like eagles and then a shot of a chihuahua just sitting there barking.
There was so much things that happened in real time in this movie.
Dude, you are. I have that note 100 times. They didn't edit. There was so much real time stuff going on. Real time driving, just sitting there, not
Movies
talking.
like this make you appreciate editors. Like
So
being
much.
an editor is such an unsung hero.
So much. They go to this bar, and Brandon's like, so we have Brandon and Tracy and his two friends. Yeah, it's just the four of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his two friends, I don't know their names, but they're a married couple.
Sorry, I just have to interrupt because I was thinking. You know how movies are shot like out of order?
Yes.
This was not.
No.
This
That's what usually like the shot on video.
It's just in order.
Yeah, you usually shoot it in order. And that's 100% what this is. They did not, no, there's no editing involved besides just stopping the tape. Right. And maybe rewinding it to record over your last scene. That's like, although I debate that also. But we meet Sophia, who walks up to them almost naked. And you think she's like the waitress, like it's because it's like a dive bar. So she walks up to him and starts flirting with him. And I mean like hardcore sexual advances on Brandon, who's like, like trying to be cool, but like totally open to the suggestion of having sex with her while this girl he's trying to court is in the bathroom. And then they're like, are you a waitress? She's like, no. So he wrote that a random girl is so fucking turned on by this guy, she just walks over and is like, let's fuck. And he's like, well, I shouldn't. And then before he can choose, the girls come back.
Right.
They tell her to get lost. And then in the meantime, we meet, that's the fifth person. This girl that they pick up, this, I don't know, this wayward fucking person that's just like got no home. What would you call her? Drifter?
A vagabond?
A vagabond, a drifter. And she is the one that is asking to get her toes sucked. So. Oh, and this is also a scene that's also shot in real time because they're just sitting there drinking beer quietly. No one's saying anything.
Dude,
They're just drinking beer. They're drinking beer.
that's why, like, unfortunately, if I was to make a movie, this is probably what it'd be like. Because you'd be like, all right, this scene, we're all going to drink beer. And everyone's just sitting around not knowing what to say.
It's true. So they take this girl home because she gets into a fight with a guy. And they're like, we shouldn't take her. And then the girl who's invited, who's a guest, is like, yeah, we're taking this girl with us. So they take a stranger. They're in the car. She reveals the toe sucking thing.
I can just tell you, though, we don't need to say any of this because none of it fucking matters. Nothing we're saying right now. None of these characters matter in the least. I don't even want to call it a backstory, but everything you're saying about these people, it does not matter.
It's true. It's very true. Because it is crazy. It is so fucking crazy what's going on in this movie. Or what's not going on
in this movie.
They end up at this house. I mean, where do you go? So they end up at the house. They're camping, but they're not because it's a house. At first I was like, oh, they're going camping. That's why they were traveling. But they're actually just at this house with a fire outside. And they're telling spooky stories, none of which fucking matter. We get a lot of POV shots that don't come into play, at least yet. Guys, I'm going to be a spoiler here.
We literally already talked about the last scene.
No, but the bigger spoiler is that for over an hour of this film, I think I clocked it at like an hour and 5 minutes of an hour and 36-minute movie. When I say nothing happens, literally nothing happens. You don't see the killer. You don't see a kill.
Sean said, because normally I don't like to text Sean about the movies that we're about to talk about because I just want to keep the conversation fresh.
Yeah.
But I couldn't while watching this one. And you had said to me, this was the longest you'd ever waited for something to happen in a movie. And that's 1,000% correct.
I've never waited this long. To the point where, again, like I started clocking it because I was like, I was conscious, like as soon as one thing that matters happens, I will mark down the time.
Okay. So we talked to, like, we could talk about the things that happen, but it's so irrelevant because they get back from the bar, they go to like the cabin in the woods, which is
right
in a public park, and they tell a shitty clown story, which takes forever to tell.
Dude, they talk about
is the longest story.
And again,
with no payoff.
But it's in legitimate real time again because like they're like, who's got a good ghost story? And one guy's like, I do. And he's like, never mind. And then like another one's like, well, I've got one. It's about a guy with a hook hand. It's like, oh, we heard that.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, the girl with a scarf around her neck.
They go through like
they're just reading scary stories and telling it dark.
I wish a movie would be better.
But then this girl tells a clown story and it lasts forever and it has zero payoff or relevance to the story.
Nope.
And from that point on, you're like, okay, they're setting up the clown that's in the title. Nothing happens for the next hour, and you don't see the clown. They walk around. You don't see the clown. You just see people walking, dude, fucking, but not even like cool sex scenes.
No, gross. They're gross.
This guy, there's a scene where it splices back and forth from wood being chopped to this guy undressing a woman.
Oh, wait.
This guy sucks at undressing a woman. Like, he is taking forever to get her top off.
Yeah.
It should not take that long.
No, it's really bad. Brandon gets his 2 sex scenes back to back with the drifter and his girlfriend, literally back to back. Fucks this girl, walks downstairs, has sex with this girl, walks downstairs, and then immediately has sex with the drifter.
Right.
Who's just like, I just want to have sex with you. And it's like, all right.
Is that what she said?
No, but it's like pretty close.
Was the dialogue.
I want to talk about like some of the quotes, but it's just so crazy. Like when he first has sex with his girlfriend, Tracy, I think her name is, right? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Tracy. Tracy, he's like, let me give you a massage. It's the most awkward thing I've ever seen. And they're because he scares her with like a clown mask while they're telling scary stories. And she's like, you're an asshole, and runs in the house. So he goes to console her. And she's like, he's like apologizing. And he's like, I don't mean to change the subject, but how could I work with you a year without and not ask you out? And she's like, oh, the old Brandon Walker charm I've heard so much about. You have no idea how much women talk about you.
Yeah. He's such a special.
Honestly, that was the line where I was like, I bet that guy wrote the fucking movie. Like, I swear to God. And I looked it up because I was like, why would somebody say that about... I was like, that is so fucking insane. This guy is so not attractive. Like, for this woman to be like, all the women in this are like, can't keep their hands off this guy. It's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. And this guy is such a fucking idiot. And he goes, you know what's wrong with you, baby? You're tense. I'm going to give you a back rub. I'm going to give you a massage first class. It is the most awkward. It is written by somebody that I don't think has had conversations with human beings. I'm going to give you a massage first class. Oh man, it's so weird. Oh, it's so weird. And then they end up having sex. And the couple outside, the married couple's like, what do you think they're doing? And the guy's like, what do you think? And the wife's like, no, this is a getting to know you trip. Like, just being like, they're just getting to know each other. They're not going to have sex. And the guy goes, getting to know you? That's ridiculous. She's obligated to have sex with him now.
Why?
I have no idea. Why is that air conditioner?
That can't be the air conditioner.
It is.
That's not a car revving?
No, it's the air conditioner. I hope it doesn't. It's going to come on. Whatever. Deal with it, everyone.
It's 100 degrees outside, so.
Yeah, it is. It's literally 100 degrees in Connecticut, so fucking deal with it.
I had my heat on 5 days ago.
Yeah, same. That was awesome. So then Brandon gets up after that and has sex with the drifter, who's downstairs, and is like, you're so fucking hot. I can't resist you. Oh my God. That's insane. They finally start hearing noises, or you think finally we're getting somewhere.
What point? How much is left in this?
Dude, a million.
A million. It's still playing.
I don't think I have it written down until the hour mark. But it was unbelievable. Like, it was such bullshit. Brandon gets up. There's another sex scene. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know who's having sex with who in this. Everyone's having sex with each other. They make breakfast in the morning and find a ton of dolls in the fridge.
Yep.
And everyone's freaking out like it's the end of the world. Like, they don't even do the whole, like, nice prank.
No.
They're just like, what the fuck? But that doesn't stop them from leaving. And we didn't mention, okay, so there's noises. So the guy's wife starts walking around and she gets got.
How did she get got?
She gets got. I don't know, because you can't see anything. You just hear her scream, though, I think.
Right. All right.
Yeah. But she's MIA. They realized, but it took them like another 15 minutes before the guy's like, hey guys, my wife's missing. He woke up in an empty bed and just realized his wife's missing. They keep hearing noises in the woods. And now they discover that Denise is also missing, who's the drifter. They go inside. There's more dolls. One of them accuses Denise, because she's missing, of being the one doing this. Yep. Brandon's like, so what are you saying? She's a serial killer? Literally no one said that. They said she might have put dolls everywhere. What the fuck?
Only a prank. It's actually a pretty reasonable conclusion.
Yeah.
It's way more reasonable than to assume something terrible is going on.
It's so weird. And then Mark, everyone's starting to freak out. The husband, Mark, that's his name. Mark's like, I need to find my wife. I need to find my wife. And fucking Brandon freaks out. Like, the writing is so bad. Brandon goes, Mark, will you settle down? We're looking for her. And then he just starts screaming, Susan! Susan! And whenever they go out into the woods, they're like, we're going to go out into the woods and look for these people. Whenever they go out into the woods, they're literally out there for like a minute. And then they're like, hey, you know what? We should probably go get some water, canteens of water, and then search again. Then they go back and get canteens of water. Then they go to search, and it literally lasts like 5 minutes, and they're like, we should probably go back to the house and see if Susan's there.
Again, this is happening in real time.
Real time. Like, we are watching
filming them walk.
Trudge through the woods. Like, and it is clearly laboring. They get back to the house again, and they see clothes with a doll head on it. Everyone's freaking out. They try to call the cops. The phone lines are dead. And still nothing has happened. They try to go to the car.
Yep.
And there's dolls under the hood of the car. And what does the role the dolls play?
That was the first thing. That was what I was going to ask you, and the answer is nothing.
Nothing.
Yes.
They mean nothing to the story. So then they're like, oh, I have a shed full of stuff that my uncle has. Maybe we can use a tractor. I didn't know if they wanted the tractor or if they wanted the parts to fix the car. What was the piece of the car that he said he couldn't find? A distributor line?
Is that what you said?
Dude, it was some like
Something that's not a part of the car?
I don't even know, but it was either obscure or I'd never heard of it. It's not something that you'd lift the hood of the car, not touch anything, and then be like, the fucking distributor line's cut.
I'm actually kind of offended that you think I was paying attention to what they were saying at this point in the movie.
But so they go to this shed and everyone just starts vomiting because there's skulls with party hats on. And not like fresh skulls. Like,
no, they're ancient. It's like a catacomb.
Like fucking Party City Halloween skulls. You would never think they're real. And they have party hats on. And they all start vomiting on the ground. Like you see them vomit. They're like, and the drifter's still like, hey man, it was that guy that sucks toes. Like, why would anyone believe him? And then she reveals that was a lie to prank them. And everyone's like, you fucking bitch. Like, first of all, why would anyone believe the guy that sucked toes would follow him out and is now not doing anything to them? Nothing's happened. What do they think they're doing? Oh, I guess the dolls. Okay. I don't know. Whatever. It was so insane. Yeah. And then Brandon brings up a great point because somebody's like, well, these skeletons have been dead a long time. Because like the drifter walks up and is like, yeah, it was that guy that sucks toes. And the woman's like, yeah, but the other woman is like, Tracy's like, yeah, but these have been dead a while. These are skeletons. And Brandon's like, are you saying he went back in time, killed those people, and came back?
No.
And Denise, the drifter, does not say no. She doesn't disagree with that. She's like, well, I mean,
anything's possible.
in so many words. Those are your words, not mine. But I'm not saying no. And at this point, we are an hour into the movie.
This is barely halfway. Barely over the halfway mark.
Yeah. Oh, wait. And this is the wood chopping scene.
Yeah. Which will take you to an hour and 10 minutes into the movie.
Dude, it's unbelievable. It's so fucking unbelievable. Oh, my God. So then Denise and Mark decide
There's actually a kill after the wood chopping scene.
No, there's not.
Is that not when the guy gets decapitated?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, which guy?
Some guy gets decapitated. Dude,
You're right.
Swings his axe. I don't know who it was.
Wait, you're right. He kills a guy.
He swings the axe so nonchalantly, and the guy's head comes off so easily. It's like butter.
Clearly, you could have blown on that fake head and it was going to fall over. It was so weird. It was so weird. But yeah, it's cutting in between these two walking and a guy chopping wood every few seconds for
like 4 minutes.
Yeah. And we don't even know, why is the guy chopping wood?
He's making so much noise. Chopping wood. Wait, that's the killer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just giving away.
But why is he even chopping wood? What do you need wood for?
He doesn't, Sean.
Just making
to make the axe more dull.
That's what I was going to say. We finally do see that the clown has Susan tied up, the wife. She's tied to a tree. And he's singing Humpty Dumpty to her. Is this the worst POV shot of all time? It's supposed to be inside the clown mask, but it's done the most piss poor. Dude, you literally see like a quarter of the screen. The rest of it is black.
Yes.
And it's like supposed to be from inside the mask. It is so poorly done. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And we still don't see the clown. We're just inside the mask, but it's very whatever. And he's singing Humpty Dumpty, and the clown cuts off her head, and there's no blood.
None.
So I guess at an hour and 2 minutes, which is when this occurs.
Wait, that was only 2 minutes from the last.
Yeah. An hour and 2 minutes, I guess something kind of happens. But you don't know who the clown is. You just see a head fall off of shoulders after a very unimpressive axe swing. Brandon just now realizes, hey, his uncle has a CB for emergencies.
Oh my God. The fact that he realizes that now was so infuriating.
So he picks up the CB. So, like, here's the thing. You could argue, as we know, Brandon is a killer. So you could argue it's all just a play, right? Why wouldn't they just tie up all these people?
Well, they would.
From the get-go?
They would. That's exactly what 2 people.
You wouldn't even bother with the CBs. 3 people. These people, it's 3-3. And you've already, now one's dead.
Right. They're just wasting all of our time.
Oh God. So where are we? So they find the CB. This is Brandon Walker. We're stranded at the Walker place. And the CB, it's clearly the clown. I don't know if this was supposed to be a swerve, but as soon as he started talking, it's like, hey, Brandon, this is the police. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking unbelievable. We see Denise and Mark walking alone, nothing happening. Again,
Of course.
they fuck in the woods. Whatever. Mark finds the room. Oh, they decide to split up. People are going missing.
Great idea.
And they are convinced that there's a killer. And they're like, we're going to split up. Mark finds the clown room full of human organs, entrails, and candles. He also finds Susan decapitated and screams and starts running away. And we finally see the clown. The clown's, he's a very large man. The clown is a very large man. This guy is running away forever. And the clown is walking like Jason style and is always somehow on his heels. And not just like Jason, like, come on. Like,
yeah.
Stop it.
This guy
guy's
would
running full speed.
Need an inhaler.
100%.
So out of breath.
He's actually out of breath in one of the scenes.
Of course he is.
It's insane. But Denise is also running back. She somehow makes it to the house before Mark, who's running full speed from a murderer. And she gets back and she's like, Mark killed his wife. And they're like, I don't believe you. And then we see a flashback of what she saw. And for some reason, and it is the full scene, it's not even like a misrepresentation. It just proves that this drifter's an idiot because Mark's like, Denise, and sees his wife tied up, and then the head falls off and he's like, no, Denise, and then runs away like you would. And she's like, yeah, and that's what happened. So it's proof that he's the killer.
So stupid.
It is so unbelievably stupid. Mark gets back, and these dudes spend like 3 minutes looking in the woods, and they come back again. Like, it's so fucking bizarre. It's so bizarre what they do.
You're confusing bizarre with boring.
The clown cop calls them again and is like, hey, there's an accident.
Cop.
There's an accident on the highway. I can't make it. And then literally like 3 minutes later, the door rattles and it's like, oh, it's the sheriff. Oh, I'm here. Let me in. Or no, actually at this point, that's not it. It's Mark rattling. The door starts rattling and they think there's a killer and they just open the door. And it's Mark. And Mark's like, hey, you're not going to believe this. And then falls over and has an axe in his back. And then somebody goes, is he dead? And Brandon goes, I don't know. And checks
fucking axe in his back.
And checks his pulse for a legitimate minute, like the full minute, like counting, like how many beats per minute. Oh, it's actually 0 beats per minute. And he says that, he goes, he's dead. The door's rattling again. Now they say it's the sheriff. They tell him to come to the clown. They say, come to the window to prove it. We got a killer out here. Brandon goes, I have a gun. And the clown leans into the window and goes, shove the gun up your ass.
All right, you know what? That part is funny.
It's so ridiculous. He unloads the gun into the building, somehow not killing the clown. Shove the gun up your ass. The clown cuts the electricity.
All right, this scene
is awesome.
No, it's not. Because this scene,
it might be.
Sean, it's not. I cannot express how dark the scene is. Like, picture the darkest scene you've ever seen. Actually, no. Just turn off your monitor.
Just close your eyes.
And that's what the scene is.
It's
and it lasts way too long.
It's literally black. And the girls are screaming. They're like, ah! Definitely a reason to scream. You're terrified. You're petrified. And the guy knows where you are.
Yeah.
Scream's not going to give it away. And Brandon goes, hey, shut up. Be quiet. And then we watch real time. He goes, hey, I think my uncle's got stuff here. Hey, I think my uncle has candles here, which he somehow finds 1,000,000 candles. But we watch real time him looking for candles, lighting them, and like going around and lighting candles. And it's so dark, and they're not using extra lighting.
No, all it's literally the candlelight.
It's just candles floating around.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing them turn and light other ones, but you're not seeing hands.
You don't see anything.
It's just blackness. It is unbelievable. I could not believe this scene exists in a movie.
Me neither. It was. I already said, my wife came in and asked what was wrong with the TV.
But now it's lit randomly. Brandon says he's going to go for help. He's already said that it's 12 miles from him to the road, the main road. So they're like, well, how long is it going to take you? And he's like, well, 15 minutes a mile makes it like 3 hours. Dude, you're not going to get that. 15-minute mile?
Right.
Over the course of 12 miles. Yeah, maybe your first couple might be shorter, but you're going to slow up pretty fast.
Yeah.
So they start trying to come up with this plan, and the drifter's like, well, there's only one clown. And they're like, how do you know that? And she's like, well, the door only rattles once. They never rattle at the same time. And they're like, everyone's like, that's a great idea. It's a great thought. Which is so stupid. Well, they decide to go with this plan. The door rattles. Brandon leaves out the back door. And it's all revealed. Well, we get more black screens of Brandon running.
All revealed.
It's pitch black. Then Brandon gets to the road and just lights a cigarette.
You go the old Kaiser Sose gag.
And we see a flashlight shine in his face, and he's not alarmed. He's not relieved either. He's showing no expression because he's not an actor.
He's just there.
He's just there. Meanwhile, inside, the clown's still harassing these women. And the clown throws in somebody's head. I don't know who. And then for some reason, one of the girls is like, oh, this means there's 2 of them. I don't know why. The conclusions they come to in this movie are so fucking bizarre. Well, it's light out now. It's the daytime. Just think about how incomprehensibly stupid this is. So we know in hindsight, there's the clown, Uncle Billy. There's the drifter.
Yep.
And there's Brandon.
Yep.
3 clown killers. There is one person left in the house, and she was just asleep all night. She slept through the night. Like, that is a fact. Like, she wakes up and is like, oh, is it morning?
And she's not barricaded in.
They did barricade the house.
They can get in.
They can easily get in. And one of them is in the house with her.
That's what I'm saying.
And one of the doors is unlocked because Brandon left.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
And not to mention the one could just open the door for him. But instead, they let her sleep peacefully through the night. It's incomprehensibly stupid. It is unfathomable that somebody would write that in a movie, besides like a 6-year-old.
Yes. Or like you would screen that to your friends or even the people that are in the movie and they'd be like,
anyone would stop.
Keep it.
So Brandon comes in and he's like, it's over. But the bathroom door opens. Brandon motions for somebody to come over and the clown comes out. We get flashbacks to what I guess explains it. It doesn't at all. It does not explain it at all. But this is Brandon's Uncle Billy, and it's a game they've been playing for a while. Then Denise comes out with a shitty clown mask on, and she goes, my dad and now me. So they're all related.
So, yeah.
She goes, Brandon, you killed those people? He goes, you mean Mark? He was a pussy.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Although Mark wasn't a pussy. Denise and Brandon start Frenching. So that's legit.
But wait.
And
Denise is the one with
the drifter.
The clown mask?
Yeah.
But they're related.
Yeah.
And they're Frenching.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're fucked 2 days ago.
Holy shit. Damn it. What? What? Why?
I don't know.
Why is this just sinking in now?
I don't know. Because it's as bad as Peter Rottentail in terms of like,
It's worse.
well, like they just didn't care. Like there was no continuity, like obviously, but like they just wrote it. Like whatever. They take Tracy and they say, see you later for dinner. We cut to, I guess, what is the future? They don't tell you. It just cuts to an office building and we see Brandon there. He looks even worse in a suit, but it doesn't tell us. Brandon's at work. He goes, oh, I'd like to apologize for Friday. What are you guys doing this weekend? The end.
I smell a sequel.
There is a sequel.
No. Shut up.
I believe there is. I might have made that up.
There can't be.
I'm pretty sure there is. Look it up. S.I.C.K 2. No, there's not.
There can't be, dude.
That guy
lost all his money.
So that's sick, everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm sick over it. Probably edit that out when I name this show that episode. Sick over sick. You want to pick out our movies for the next 2 weeks? Oh, the next 2 weeks are no picks. Well, there are picks, but no choices. Our buddy Armando, great guy, chose The Wizards of Gore, the 2007 remake.
Why?
I will do. Let's just do it. Let's bring back Buddha Reboot.
Dude, I could not think of it. I was like, make a remake?
Yeah, I said cut or recut in my head. I was like, Buddha Reboot, we'll do it. Wizard of Gore. I'll watch both.
Okay.
For that.
Okay.
And then.
That was his only choice?
Yeah. He might have had others, but I was like, I'm doing Wizard of Gore. Sagan M. Although no, because I like keeping the list. So I would have put others. I think he just chose Wizard of Gore. Sagan M. He's from Chicago. He has chosen Night of the Creeps.
Nice.
Yes. I'm very excited for that one.
Very nice.
So these should be 2 good episodes.
Should we do boot or reboot for that? Watch Slither.
Good one.
What?
I mean, do they actually like credit Night of the Creeps in there?
I don't know. It's the same.
It is the same.
We'll look it up.
No. Well, that's the end of this episode, guys. So thank you very much. If you can want to help us, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. That's the best way to help us. If you do, send me an email, Sean@IHateHorror.com, and I will send you a sticker. You can find us at Facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. I'm on Twitter at @IHateHorrorShow, Instagram and Snapchat at IHateHorror.
I'm at JoV421, Boognish1985, and Horror Show Joe.
Nice.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anything else we need to discuss?
No.
All right, guys. That's it. That's a wrap. So we really appreciate it. All the support, too. We should mention that, man. Thank you all so much. And for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.